Hey YouTube, second video today on Father's Day again. Happy Father's Day. Again, let me get right to it. Well, this is the continuation of another video that I just did, and I have one question before I really get into it, and this is to my liberal friends. I got a question for you. What does Barack Obama have to do for you to distrust him? It's just a question because it appears as though that he hasn't done anything to cross the threshold for you to stop defending him. I just want to know what he has to do. Does he have to have babies in his trunk? Does he have to kill baby seals? Tell me what he has to do for you to start distrusting him. Just a question. Anyway, let's talk about emotions, being ruled by your emotions, and why this plays into all the things, whether it be gun control, prison industrial complex, military industrial complex, why it is important as a citizen of humanity to never allow your emotions to rule your intellect. And this is going to be probably titled under spiritual because, and I'll try to make the connection, try to make it not disjointed. In the Bible in John chapter 1, the Bible says, in the beginning, God created. In the beginning. Now, if you go to John chapter 1, this is the gospel. In the beginning, God. That word God is not Elohim. That word is logos from the Greek. And that means logic. In the beginning, logic. Logic is always supposed to rule emotions. Intellect is always supposed to rule the emotions. Ephesians chapter 5, it says, for the husband is the head of the wife, even as Christ is head of the church. God set it up that the intellect or the pragmatic idea is to always rule the intellect. The woman is usually pretty emotional. Nowadays, you mean it's hard to tell because men are just as emotional as women, but we have a lot of effeminate men out there too. I mean, they're just coming out of the woodwork. God always has a hierarchy. A lot of feminist women don't like that, but if you look at it, it's everywhere. It's in nature. Man has dominion over the animals. Intellect, the intellect over the animal. We have dominion over all things here. God equipped us with the ability to reason. So intellect, so it's always in God's plan to have a hierarchy. And when you look at the political landscape, you see very, very clearly that that Barack Obama is the master manipulator. I mean, he's not the only one. Clinton was fantastic at it as well. They're probably on par with each other. Bush was okay at it when it came to the conservatives, and because they like to talk about God a lot, and most of them are not even Christians. They believe that they are, but they're not, according to the Bible. And so you get a chance to see, because they support Israel genocide, they're killing the Palestinians over there, and so they believe that God has God has ordained America to kill as many Palestinians and Muslims as we possibly can, because we are somehow God's divine hand. But so you got to understand that appealing to your emotions over your intellect has consequences. And when you do that, you see what's happening. When it comes to gun control, you see it. Never mind the statistics. See, statistics, that gets in the way. We have to appeal to the emotion. So you put the kids on TV, you put the parents on TV, you put the teachers on TV. You show a little bit of blood here and this and that, and you start doing things. You don't want to show certain things regarding to the school, because it may be too hard for us to grasp, to make an intelligent decision. So all the decisions must be rooted in emotions. Um, Goes right into the gun control debate. Any debate relative to drugs, emotions, destroys homes and things of that nature. Never mind that most people who are on drugs are prescription medication, and the ramifications of that, getting into our drinking water and so and so forth. The military-industrial complex. We must kill the Muslims so that we can allow people to have democracy. Never mind that uh, the logic or the actual information that we get says that it doesn't do any good to intervene. And so I can go on and on and on, and how you can see how the emotion. And so even when when the election was going on, they were talking about women's rights. You see, men have become such cowards to where they even allowed the women to control this debate about women's reproductive rights. Men are so stupid that they didn't realize that women have the right. They can't get pregnant on their own, but somehow they've managed to be able to have sole control, what they call, over their body. Whether or not you believe in abortion or not, that she can't get pregnant by herself, but somehow she's manipulated to where she can make the decision whether or not the child is born or not. And they call that having control over her own body. I mean, just think about that. That doesn't even make any sense. The man has no say-so, and if you say something, that means you don't care about women, you hate women, and you're a woman beater, and you despise women. How can she decide whether something lives or dies when she couldn't even do it on her own? She can't even create life on her own. But again, that's just yet another example of how emotions, and how people have allowed emotions to overcome your intellect. I mean, I can go into world hunger and all these particular things. The politician's job is to get you to not to think. They want you to react emotionally. So all the propaganda that you see on the television and everywhere is all about getting you an emotional response out of you. They don't want you to think. Because then if you thought about gun control, you realize that the places that have the most guns have the least amount of crime. That doesn't buy into their narrative. They don't want you to know. And even when it's brought to your attention, people don't want to hear it. The drug policy. If you legalize drug, or at least decriminalize drugs, you cut down on the violence. Then you don't have to worry about Mexico, and you have to worry about the violence that's happening on our street, just like during Prohibition. But see, intellect. It's not supposed. You're not supposed to think about that. No, see, now you don't have people killing over alcohol anymore, cigarettes and things of that nature. No. See, but they don't want you to do that. And so, as you know, as you go through your day, this Father's Day, and you realize, I call this a significant day for fathers to step up and take back control of your house and stop letting your woman rule your house and rule your children. I do realize that it's difficult because we live in a society to where we've allowed the woman to take total control, and now our kids are gone astray, and women, they don't want to take responsibility for that. They want to blame the man and say, well, yeah, the man did this. But the fact is that man can't have sex with you unless you allowed it to happen. And so, yeah, it's easier to blame the man and all that, but the fact of the matter is that you made a bad decision. But anyway, consider this today, and try not to allow your emotions to overrule your intellect. Learn to think on your own, and allow your intellect to rule your emotion. People say, God gave us emotion. How can we suppress what God gave us? Well, because you don't understand what emotions are for. Emotions are supposed to enhance the intellect. They're supposed to enhance your life. They add to it. Never to rule. Never to rule over. Woman was created for man. It's not the other way around. The Bible says it is not good for man to be alone. And that word is not anthropos, which means humankind. No, he's talking about male. That's anir. I think that's in the Greek or in the Hebrew. It is not good for males to be alone. Now, it's not good for females to be alone either, as we can see that. It's supposed to be a hierarchy. The man is supposed to be the head of the household. So emotions are there to enhance the intellect, not to rule it. And whenever you rule it, you're always going to make a bad decision. And I ask you this question as I end this video. When is the last time you made an emotional decision and it was the correct one?